Think about moving to Boston, but unsure which neighborhood fits your lifestyle and what's going to be the best fit for you. Well, Jamaica Plain, known by locals as JP, might surprise you. It's got historic streets, it's got massive green spaces, it has some of the city's best hidden gems. So, in this full Google Maps tour, I'm going to take you through exactly what it's like to live in JP, where people spend their weekends, the spots you want to check out. We'll go through the housing market as well, and most importantly, why so many folks fall in love with this community. So, let's get started. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Mike O'Brien. I'm a Boston real estate agent expert, and I help people think about moving to the Boston area, figure out the right place to call home. And today we're diving into Jamaica Plain, or JP, which is one of the most unique neighborhoods in all of Boston. So we'll be getting into the different aspects of this neighborhood, some of my favorite spots, and of course, real facts and figures as it pertains to the housing market in JP in 2025. So let's dive in. All right, let's start off our tour, as we often do, with showing you exactly where Jamaica Plain is in relation to Boston, kind of the rest of the greater Boston area. So this is downtown Boston, Jamaica Plain to the southwest of downtown. Still very much a part of Boston. Jamaica Plain is a Boston zip code, and so you're still very much part of Boston proper when you're living in Jamaica Plain. Now, to your west, you have Roxbury and Dorchester. Over here to your left side, or your, sorry, did I say west here? To your east side, you have the South End. You have Dorchester over here. On the west side, you do have Brookline, and to the south, you get into West Roxbury, Roslindale, Mattapan a little bit. So again, you can be pretty quick into Boston, 20 minutes by car, I'll say, depending on Boston traffic, as is often the case. But you catch it, you catch it at the right time, and you can be in Boston and you can be downtown pretty quick. You can also hop on the T. Orange Line will get you into Back Bay or downtown Toot Sweet as well. So the good thing about Jamaica Plain is, even though it's part of Boston, part of the big city, it still at times has a little bit of a small town feel. So it's kind of like a small town inside the big city, if that makes sense. So you're going to see a lot of green space in Jamaica Plain. You do have some waterfront as well, like some quiet side streets, but you still have kind of that urban big city energy if you want it, with some major thoroughfares like Center Street lined with shops and restaurants and all those good things. So here's Boston once again, and then here's Jamaica Plain. So before we get into too much of this tour, I do want to start to take you through a little bit of the housing market as it pertains to Jamaica Plain. So start to actually head down to the street view. And, when it comes to inventory in Jamaica Plain, as we kind of, let's scroll back out here and get a little closer. So when you're talking about the inventory Jamaica Plain, it's going to be a lot more condo and townhome space, if you will. The single family opportunities they're just less, for lack of a better term. But you will see some single families, definitely as you get along Jamaica Pond. And you see some of them very historic, have the old school style brick facades or brick interior or exteriors in the front. So again, you're not lacking single family opportunities. They exist for sure. As we head back down the street. So when you're talking about Jamaica Plain, you're going to hear a lot about the triple deckers and the condos and the apartments. Oh, that's a great house right there. And as we're getting some flora and fauna here. But if we go down to Center Street, which is, again, we talked about that thoroughfare, right? As we get to Center Street, we'll see all the restaurants and shops and municipal buildings. But as we start to go down a little bit further down, again, the double deckers, the triple deckers, apartment buildings, condo buildings. Here on your right side as well. We get back into some commercial space. Ended up back on Lockstead Avenue. There you go. So there you go. So again, as we're going down, this is what you're going to largely see when it comes to the condo availability, either triple deckers or double deckers that have been converted, or places that have been added on top of commercial space. And you can see some of them are historic, a little bit on the older side. You will start to come across some new development and some new renovation as you go through JP. So this, again, we're just going down Center Street here. This is the major thoroughfare to give you a little sense of what some of the housing looks like. Now, when we take a break from the Google Maps, start to get into the housing market in a little more detail, right? So we're looking right now at single families and condominiums on the market in Jamaica Plain right now. So if I take off the condominiums, you'll see 10 single families. All right, what does the market look like when it comes to the single family market? And single families, rare, usually have a ton of square footage, a lot of bedrooms, a lot of just rooms in general, and the prices. I mean, you have one down here, 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath for 645, but otherwise they are pushing well past $1 million. Again, you're in that Boston zip code. You're in, you're very close to downtown, and you have these great old colonial homes, historic, updated and otherwise. And so you can see real quick that they are not only immediately into the $1 million, but pushing well past into the $2 million range. In fact, the average list price is just under $1.9 million. So, definitely, if you're looking single family, look in Jamaica Plain, there's definitely an affordability question that you need to ask. If we go back out, and again, tight market right now. I mean, here we are towards the end of the summer, and just 10 single families on the market right now. Now, if we go to a condominium, all of a sudden you have 61 opportunities. So again, probably quality and quantity. And if we look at the list prices, the studio here is starting at $319 into the $4s. So again, you can find more bang for your buck. I guess, no surprise in the condo market when you compare it to the single family market, but it's pretty disparate. And now you're going to find some new condos in Jamaica Plain, and with a lot of square footage that are going to stretch into that $1 million range. But I mean, the average list price is $865, which is more than $1 million less on average than what we saw in that single family market. And if we take a look at the map, the opportunity is just all over the place. So as you look at the market here, again, the medium home price in Jamaica Plain hovering in the $800,000 range, mid to upper, depending on the month. Condos, I mean, you can find plenty of deals and plenty of opportunity below $600,000. So again, opportunity there. Again, single family homes pushing well past that $1 million marker. And the market here is still very competitive. At home, on average, homes lasting, let's scroll the way down. Lasting on market about 60 days. So kind of a standard closing time, days to offer, 39. So more than a month, but these are, those are on the market right now, or at least under agreement. If we go to the solds recently in the condominium market, let's check those out. It's 174. And let's just scroll all the way down real quick. And again, the average sale price on par with what we see with average list price, and days to offer, just 3 weeks, essentially, pretty quick. Days on market, just over a month, pretty quick as well. So again, when we're looking on those active listings, those were towards the end of December, kind of a down time when it comes to attention and people really diligently looking. But again, lasting just weeks, and multiple offers seem to be common, as they are in so many places and so many neighborhoods around Boston. So again, I want to give you a little sense of the housing market and what it kind of looks like in Jamaica Plain. So hopefully that gives you a good sense as you're exploring and maybe interested in the houses, the prices and maybe a little bit some of the types of properties you'll be looking at. All right, let's bring it back out to the map view because I want to show you one of the crown jewels of Jamaica Plain. And when I talk about this, I talk about the Arnold Arboretum of Harvard University. Yes, Harvard is on the other side of the river in Cambridge, but this is a 281 acre green space managed by Harvard University. People come here for just about everything. So you have the morning runs, dog walks, you have, even just to kind of escape the city, as you have this wonderful swath of green space. Again, 281 acres. In the springtime, the Lilac Festival is one of the biggest events. And unfortunately, we missed it this year. It was May 11th, 2025. It's going to obviously be around the same time, but absolutely beautiful. I'll give you a little peek here. So again, lilacs in full bloom, all sorts of family activities and family activities and otherwise all sorts of activities going on during the Lilac Festival at the Arnold Arboretum. So a chance to look at the lilacs or check out the lilacs in full bloom and see all the other activities or participate in all the other activities as well. It's quite beautiful and it's pretty neat. So make sure you check it out early next year for when Lilac Sunday and Lilac Festival is going to be at the Arboretum. But if we just go back to the Arboretum itself, and again, if you're wondering where you can check out the lilacs, you go up to here to Bustle Hill Road. And let's head on down here. I don't think they're going to be in bloom on the map, and that's okay. But yeah, this is where they start to be. So all up and down. And then this is just one of the paths here you have. Obviously, a few people out and about enjoying it here, what seems to be a lovely day in Boston. So again, you have this jewel, this gem right in your backyard when you're living in Jamaica Plain. So for locals, for residents of Jamaica Plain, let's turn around. I feel bad, like we're following those people walking down Bussy Hill Road, excuse me. But if you're local, you have this arboretum, you have this green space right in your backyard. It feels like you have your own nature park or your own forest that you get to take advantage of on a daily basis. So if we scroll back out a little bit, again, just to give you a better sense of the scope of the Arboretum. And again, you can check out the rhododendrons, you can check out the lilacs, the rockery, Bussy Hill itself, the Bradley Rosaceous collection, the ponds. So a lot to enjoy, a lot to appreciate when you're talking about the Arnold Arboretum. So I'm not going to go through all of it. Allow you to do that when you come and visit JP or you come and visit Boston, but a big reason or a big positive about living and being near JP. All right, well, if we're talking about some green space, let's talk about some waterfront space. Let's head down to Jamaica Pond. I want to give you a little of the standard map view. And so next stop, this is the centerpiece of the neighborhood and really I'm part of Boston's Emerald Necklace. So you have, if you scroll down here or zoom in, you can see the outline of it here. So you have basically a 1.5 mile loop that goes around the circumference of Jamaica Pond. You have courageous sailing at Jamaica Pond Boathouse. So you can see residents there. You're going to be going around the Emerald Necklace here, and the Emerald Necklace part of a huge chain. Rather, the Emerald Necklace is a huge chain of connected green spaces throughout Boston. So this is not only kind of a centerpiece of the neighborhood in Jamaica Plain, but it is also definitely a centerpiece of the Emerald Necklace as well. So if we can get down to the pathway, let's see if this will work out. I think it will. Yeah. So you have people enjoying the pond, you have people enjoying the walkway, you have the opportunity to rent some sailboats, you can rent kayaks, enjoy all this water space, enjoy the waterfront. Oop, tough go for that tree there. That is okay. Just nature, right? Circle of life. And I don't think we'll see anyone here, but you often you see people fishing. So it's really a place where people gather, the community gathers, and you're not going to find water spaces like this or bodies of water like this in a lot of places in Boston. Yeah. I mean, you're not too far away from the water anywhere in Boston, right? Like Boston Harbor is right there. You have the Cape, you have the Atlantic Ocean. I mean, Massachusetts is right up against the ocean and the water. But in terms of being in an urban setting, in terms of being in the city, you're going to be hard pressed to find another neighborhood or city that has waterfront and water space like this. And again, just another positive and just another reason why Jamaica Plain is on so many people's radar when it comes to trying to find the right neighborhood in Boston. All right, now we've had a chance to take a look at the green spaces, the fantastic green spaces, and all those aspects of JP. I want to get down to street level a little bit here to show you Center Street and kind of the major, not kind of, it is the major thoroughfare. So the main strip that goes through Jamaica Plain. This is where you're going to find your local businesses. This is where you're going to find the independent, restaurants, small local business, local restaurants. So this is where you're going to start to see it a little bit. And you can go down Center Street and find pretty much any cuisine you want. Casa Verde, Noodle Barn. As you move a little bit further up Center Street. Because I do need to show, and you got sweet rice over here, which is pretty good Thai. You have City Feed and Supply, which is kind of part market, part cafe, if you will. So it definitely has that little quirky JP vibe, if you will. Also, if you're an ice cream fan, let's get back over here because JP Licks is a local favorite, legendary ice cream chain here in Boston. This is the one that started it all. So if you want to go to the OG, grab some ice cream, make sure you head down to JP Licks. Got it? Figured. So again, just want to give you a little bit of a better sense of Center Street. You got 10 tables here. Great restaurant. You start to see some of the housing as we continue down Center Street. And we continue along because I want to give you a shot of Tres Gatos. I may just jump ahead here. Let's make things easier on ourselves. Just because it's a great tapas place that well, not a great tapas place that I want to make sure you check out as we just kind of we go off the map here. So almost looks like a house that's been converted into a restaurant, and it has been. So you only have great tapas there, but also books, live music. It's got a bookstore in the back. You get live music, so make sure you check that out. And as you go up Center Street, again, you're kind of going through a few downtown areas and different squares. I mean, you have Canary Square, you have Mahoney Square, which is where we're getting to right now. But good to see also in Jamaica Plain, you have kind of those outdoor eating options as well. And you go down Center Street, you're going to find pretty much any kind of cuisine you want. I mean, you come over here, you're going to get your Irish pub on the right side, get your seafood here, Blue Nile on the left side. And so Jamaica Plain, much like a lot of neighborhoods in Boston, a great spot for foodies or just to enjoy the diversity, variety of food styles and different cuisines. So again, just go out Center Street, pick a spot, pick a spot, or just drive down, and be like, that's what I'm in the mood for. That's what tomorrow. That's what I'm in the mood for. Again, you're not going to be lacking for options in JP as you go down Center Street. So as we move through Center Street and kind of make the turn here, I'd say we're starting to get into some areas that really give JP kind of that its cultural flavor. So you have Hyde Square, which is often called kind of Boston's Latin Quarter, if you will. Over 125 local businesses owned in Hyde Square, Latin Quarter. Over 65% of them, locally owned by immigrants. So let's scroll back out, or let's get to the aerial view again, because as we start to make this turn from Trescato's and where we just were at the Brendan Bean Pub and Blue Nile over here, an Ethiopian cafe, which appropriately serves Ethiopian food, right? So as you start to come up around Center Street, you get to Hyde Square. And so Hyde Square is often called Boston's Latin Quarter. So this is where you can find restaurants, Dominican, Puerto Rican. You have a lot of great bakeries, music shops as well. So this is over 125 locally owned businesses in Hyde Square and in the Latin Quarter, if you will. And obviously, many of them owned by Latin proprietors. So this is that stretch right here. If you want to get down to Eggleston Square, this is where you also have a very strong art scene and a lot of community hubs. So I'll just give you an outline of Hyde. Maybe if I could spell. There we go. So again, Trescato's right outside. But as you make that turn, this is where you get into Hyde Square and towards Jackson Square. And if you're looking for where exactly Eggleston Square is, less of a square, more Duncan always making his presence felt. So again, just give you a sense of those neighborhoods and what they're all about. Now, JP is also very much known for its arts community. So every year you have the Jamaica Plain Open. So this is coming up as we're filming this beginning of September. So Jamaican Open Studios. And, this is last year's map, but it's an event. It's a weekend where local artists open their homes and their studios to the public. So the streets are filled with murals, each one kind of telling a different part of the neighborhood story. So living here, you don't just see kind of art in museums or have to go downtown to do so. It's literally woven in a neighborhood. So if you look at that map, I mean, all the studio space, just like we said, woven into the neighborhood. So if you're going to explore JP, or if you want to check out, what the art scene is like, then maybe this weekend, maybe the weekend of September 27th, 28th of this year is the time to do it. So, you look at the artist directory and it is pretty extensive. Again, pages and pages of artists, and just another cool aspect. Again, you find arts in so many different neighborhoods and areas of Boston, and each seem to kind of have its own, I'd say niche, but kind of the own way that it presents that part of it to the general population. And Jamaica Plain Open Studios is a great event, and definitely a weekend to check out if you're in the area. All right, let's get a little down and dirty. Let's talk logistics. Let's talk about getting in and around Jamaica Plain. So you have Stony Brook T. This is the orange line. Pretty straightforward. So the orange line has a couple key stops. You have Stony Brook. You also have Jackson Square, Roxbury Crossing as you get more into Roxbury. But you follow the T line down, Green Street, and then all the way down there on the side of the Arborway, you do have the Forest Hills. So Forest Hill is also a major hub when it comes to buses and the commuter rail. Parking can be tight, like it is in so much of Boston. And so one of the big appeals of Jamaica Plain, of course, is having that access to public transportation, the Needham line, that's the commuter rail right there, like we talked about. But having that train access makes commuting to downtown or other neighborhoods pretty easy. And the Orange Line, those lines come pretty often, or those trains come pretty often. And again, you have pretty much, a spot within a road, a T stop within walking distance, pretty much anywhere you are in Jamaica Plain. So again, another appeal, another positive about Jamaica Plain, that access to public transportation. And even, again, just going back to it, access to downtown. I mean, here's downtown, here you are. Again, and save for rush hour traffic, you can get downtown in the car pretty easily as well. All right, so remember at the beginning of this video, I was going to tell you about a hidden gem that is near Jamaica Plain, but that people still move to Jamaica Plain to make sure they are near. Well, let's talk about Franklin Park. You see the outline of Jamaica Plain. So Franklin Park, technically in Dorchester, not technically, it is in Dorchester, but right there on the border of Jamaica Plain. So this is Boston's largest green space, bigger than a Boston Common, bigger than all the other green spaces in Boston. So over 500 acres, designed by Frederick Law Olmsted. Let's try and say that 3 times fast. So it's the same person that designed Central Park in New York City. So it has everything from walking trails. It's got a golf course. Let's get the, let's see if we can get the layered view here. There we go. Maybe. There it is. So this gives you a better sense of Franklin Park. So you can see the greens and the fairways from the golf course there. It has walking trails all around as well. It connects JP with Dorchester and also Roxbury. So not only have access to all, you can see the trails through the park. So not only do you have access to another great green space and to a golf course and to just park in general, but you also have access right by the Franklin Park Zoo, which you can check out in our Dorchester video that we did a few months back. Oh, hey, if you're a cricket fan, Franklin Park Cricket Ground. So there you go. So Franklin Park, though not technically in JP, I mean, just adjacent. And a lot of people not only love JP for its access to the Arboretum, for its access to Jamaica Pond, but also you have this wonderful green space, the biggest green space in Boston right here, along with the zoo, the golf course. It's got a little bit of everything. Franklin Park, I wouldn't say hidden gem because it's so large, but even though it's not in JP, it can be a major reason why people do choose JP to live. So now we zoom all the way back out. And that is Jamaica Plain. What did you think? We saw some great aspects of JP, the green spaces, saw some great historic homes, kind of the urban aspect and some great spots or different spots to grab a bite to eat, the housing market, and just a great cultural energy, just great community that really, I think, feels alive. So if you're considering moving to Boston, it's not on your list. JP maybe should be on your list or at least be on your radar. And if you're ready to start exploring homes in JP or otherwise, I'd love to help out. You can reach me on Instagram, DM me at Mike O'Brien Homes. You can also email me directly at mikeobrienhomes@gmail.com. And if you enjoyed this video, you want to see more, make sure you like, subscribe, ring that bell. And of course, you want to check out any of the other videos here, you can do so right now on our Moving to Boston playlist. So appreciate you watching this one, and we'll see you next time out.